Now, the second paradigm shift is fundamentally very important. Now, from the time we were born until today, we were taught that to be successful, you need to know people. You need to know a lot of people. You need to have contacts. So whichever country you're from, I'm sure you heard rumors, that guy is successful because he knows people. This guy is successful because he has a lot of contacts. Our parents struggle to send us to the right school, all right, put us in the right community, so that we build up and develop what we call a list of contacts that could help us down the road and in the future. For example, all right, even opening a traditional business, it is clearly in traditional business that a person with more contacts, all right, more people they know, will have a higher chance of success than somebody with zero contacts. So if you were to open a restaurant in Kuala Lumpur tomorrow, and I live in Kuala Lumpur, and I've been here for 40 years of my life, and I know thousands of people, my family knows thousands of people, and I open a restaurant tomorrow and tell every one of my contacts that I own a restaurant. And you are from India, all right, or Africa, or Middle East, all right, somewhere, and you come to Malaysia and open a restaurant with zero contacts, all right, who's going to be more successful? Obviously me. As long as our food quality is the same, I have much more contacts. Now that paradigm exists in our mind. From the time we grew up until today as adults, we recognize the fact that the more people you know, the more contacts you have, the more successful you would be in business, the more successful you'll be in life. However, when you look into network marketing, that paradigm will have to change. Because in network marketing, that rule of life doesn't actually apply. And this is very interesting. This is why I believe network marketing is the business of the future. All right? Now, don't make the mistake of coming into our company QNet and assuming, all right, that you find a prospect who has a lot of contacts and he would be a great downline. I have seen that fall flat on the face. Just because somebody has a lot of contacts doesn't mean he makes a great networker. The truth of the matter is, coming into networking is for everyone and anyone because it applies on a simple principle called the circle of influence. All right? Now, what is this thing called the circle of influence? Now, through your journey of life, you have built various types of relationships. Every human on the planet has a circle of influence. A circle of influence ranges from 5 people to 100 people, all right? Or maybe 2 people to 100 people. And everyone, depending how you grew up, will know more people or know less people, all right? But anywhere in the world, if you had a normal life and not living in the forest alone on a tree with one monkey, all right, you would have a circle of influence. Now, network marketing is so possible, all right, is so accessible, all right, because it applies the principle of circle of influence. You don't need to have 1,000 contacts to be successful in network marketing. You need your circle of influence. Now, your circle of influence, on average, anyone around the world, in my opinion, all right, strong circle of influence, with 4 or 5 people. Now, what does that mean? This means that these people trust you. Regardless of what you say, it's not about what you present to them. It's not about what you say or how you present it. They trust you. They know you. All right? They have gone through a journey of life with you where they have seen the best and worst and they have embraced and accepted you for who you are. Now, everyone on the planet has 4 or 5 people who will never say no to you. This is proven over and over again. Now, think about this. What are you doing in network marketing? Are you going to the streets immediately from day one and talking to strangers? No. You talk to your circle of influence. Why? Because you are now a business owner. All right? You have a great opportunity called QNet. You believe in it. You signed up. Now, you're not a moron, I hope. All right? Be a moron with a dream, but just don't be a plain moron. You're not a moron. So you saw something. You saw potential. You love the business. You love the vision of Dato Sri Vijay and Jayaprakash Bismarck. All right? And you fell in love with QNet and the concept. Now, who are you going to share this with? Right? You have great news. You have the cure for poverty. All right? You have a cure for being mediocre. You have a cure for going to work, coming back home and dying broke. You have the cure in your hands. Now, who are you going to share it with? You are immediately going to share it with your circle of influence. These are people you love, you care about, and people who trust you. So if you look behind me, everyone has a circle of influence. Your circle of influence is only 4 people. That's it. 4 people. All right? Now, what you fail to understand is these 4 people also have their circle of influence. I hope you see where I'm going with this. All right? So before you go and talk to strangers and do everything else, don't lose out on your circle of influence. All right? So now I have 4 people in my circle of influence who will sign up because I showed them the business opportunity, not because the business opportunity. Most people in your circle of influence will say yes before even understanding the compensation plan, before even understanding the products or the company. They will say, Patman, if you are in, I am in. That's how I got Sati. That's how I got Kuna. That's how this whole thing started. That's how Dato Sri got me. You understand? So if you look at the whole concept of what we have today, the 12 million over people in our organization, what does it represent? It represents people signing up people in their circle of influence. It's a continuous connection. It's a web of relationships. It's a web of trust, belief, and people sign up. So now if you have 4 people in your circle of influence, they all sign up. Now how many people do they have? They have 4 each. Now if you do the maths and look at the diagram, all right, you got 4 people in your circle of influence. These 4 people bring 4 other people in their circle of influence. That becomes 16. All right? Now these 16 people bring 4 people from their circle of influence. That becomes 64. All right? These 64 people become 4 people in their circle of influence. That's 256. All right? And 256 people just bring 4 people from their circle of influence who sign up on trust. All right? Believing that the person presenting the business to them is going to guide them along the way. That grows to 1,024 people. Now, can you conclude signing up 4 people in your circle of influence in 1 month? Definitely. You must be an absolute moron living in a tree if you can't do that. Can they duplicate that timeline of 1 month to another month to another month? So the possibility is in 4 months, your organization could grow to 1,024 people. And what did everyone do? They spoke to people in their circle of influence. Now, this is the power of network marketing. Now, if we were in traditional sales, you would walk up to a stranger in a bus stop trying to sell a product. Now, not everyone is good at that. Not everyone has that ability, all right? Not everyone has that social ability at the beginning of their journey to walk up to a complete stranger and be the greatest salesman or saleswoman. All right? But everyone has that ability to talk to their circle of influence. It's a comfortable approach. There's trust. There's years of relationship and belief. Now, if you understand the philosophy of network marketing, why I always say that anyone and everyone can become tremendously successful in network marketing, because the fundamental aspect, the foundation of network marketing is the ability for you to talk to people in your circle of influence. Now, yes, there are people with bigger circle of influence, smaller circle of influence. So how did Dato Sri Vijay, all right, develop a network so big with so many powerful leaders? Now think about it. I don't know half the leaders around the world before QNet. They are not part of my circle of influence. All right? I didn't know most of them personally. I didn't know Arun. I didn't know Atli. I didn't know David Sharma. All right? I don't know Sachin, Tobing, Fofana, Dorian, Said Amir, all right? Hamid, Erkan. Okay? I didn't know Suraj. Okay? I didn't know Manoj, Dave Joel. These people were somebody else's circle of influence. But because of the growth of the organization, leaders can be anywhere. So it's not only you identifying somebody and making them into the biggest leader. That's not always possible. All right? But somebody's circle of influence will bring you a powerful, unbelievable leader. And if you have a powerful, unbelievable leader in your left and your right, earning 10, 20,000 US a week, you are financially free. But if somebody interviews you after 5 years and say, did you find this person? No, but he belonged to somebody's circle of influence. Now that's the power of network marketing. Network marketing works on the basis of relationships that already exist. Now this is the foundation. As you move along, you will be talking to people in your warm zone, in your cold zone. You will gain enough confidence to walk up to a complete stranger, especially after you start making money, after you start seeing results, your confidence level goes up. When I first started, I wasn't willing to walk up to a stranger. I worked with my circle of influence. Today, I can talk to anyone, anywhere, and show them how beautiful QNet is. But beginners, like you watching this video, work on your circle of influence, your hot zone as we call it. And that circle of influence will lead you to powerful leaders in your organization. And any one of you applying just the concept of circle of influence, hot zone, you can get 1,000 people in your organization in 4 months, or even sooner. Right? That's the logic. That's the beauty. That's the first paradigm shift. You don't need to have strong contacts. You don't need to hunt for people with mega sales skill set, or hunt for people with a lot of contacts. Just work with your circle of influence. Why is this important, guys? Because when you present to somebody and you tell them you got to talk to 2,000 people, all right, to become successful, they're going to panic. They're not going to sign up. They're going to walk away. Because it's not in human nature to walk up and talk to 2,000 strangers. Nobody wants to go to the bus stop and talk to a stranger. Nobody wants to run around the street with a brochure saying, please join me, please join me, please join me. But if you tell people, join us, start with your circle of influence. I'll help you. Talk to your circle of influence. Then we talk to their circle of influence, and they talk to their circle of influence. And before you know it, you become one of the most powerful networkers. And one day when you're financially free, sitting down somewhere and I meet you for coffee, we will talk about this video. And it's true. All our top leaders today who are maxing out, earning thousands of US a week, if you ask them, they all started with their circle of influence, their hot zone, based on a simple philosophy of trust, and that just exponentially grew. And the top leader in your organization may be 100 levels down, 200 levels down on this side. Doesn't matter. You will know them later on. They will grow. They follow the system. They attend events. They come to VCon. They come to ISB. We will help find and develop them. But the minimum requirement is for you to work with your circle of influence. So the power of circle of influence is one of the biggest foundations that makes network marketing such an accessible business for anyone and everyone. All right? So that logic of circle of influence is what makes QNet a business that can work in any country, can work for a homemaker or housewife, for a professional, all right? For somebody who has only a few friends. They tell you, listen, I can't join this business because I don't know many people. It's okay. Do you have a circle of influence that trusts you? Let's work with them first. And they will grow and expand. And before you know it, these people become your biggest leaders. So if you ask some of our top leaders in QNet and the V today, all right, they will tell you that they started just with their circle of influence. And they themselves are shocked today, the amount of people they will have. Now, as your organization grows, you will still keep doing presentation. You will still keep talking to people in your name list. But your confidence grows. And when your checks and commissions grow, you become a network marketing machine. But you started with your circle of influence. That's all you need to start your journey of entrepreneurship with QNet. So don't panic. If you don't know many people and your list is very short right now, don't panic. All of us started with 4 or 5 people who are close to us, most of them family, best friends, and it grew. We have 12 million people today because Dato Sri and Japa started with their circle.